How y'all doing? If you like reseller content, toy content, like, subscribe, comment below. For a change, I got basically no board games, but I got some toys. It's kind of nice. And there is a bit of a theme, accidentally, as it turns out, and that's to remember what you sold in the past and talk about how we can track that as well. So I've picked up repeat items, all of these. So we have some Pokemon coins. We have a Mecha King Ghidorah Bandai figure. And then we got a 1994 Fisher Price pirate ship that is in shambles, but we're still going to get quite a bit of money out of it. $12.49 spent. So let's start with the coins. So if we got these trading card coins. So I started going to Sabres. They're a big thrift store. I don't like them because they don't run sales and their pricing tends to be way higher than other places. But they do tend to have a lot of inventory. And I don't know if the pricing being higher keeps resellers out, because it kept me out. Worked pretty good, if that was the point. But I did happen to go there and I checked, and like, this made sense. And one of the other items also came from there on a different day. So these are coins for the card game. I don't know if it's like a thing that tells you it's your turn or what, but I have gotten these in the past and I sold them. They're very small. So it was a whole bag of them. I know for a fact I had one of these. It might have been this one, in fact, Pikachu. That I sold for like whatever, a $3 profit. So at $2 for an entire bag of them, really can't miss. So we have some duplicates. I don't know Pokemon at all. This one's holographic. I don't know if that means anything, so we're gonna have to dig into these a little bit. Like, that's Blastoise. Another one of these. Blastoise. I don't know what that is. We got another holographic thing. I don't know if these go to this. They're Blastoise, okay. So we're gonna have to look that up. So this looks like, I want to say the yellow star means something in Pokemon. So we're going to look these up. I'm going to do a quick Google Lens on that. I don't know if Google Lens will be able to do anything. It probably thinks it's a dish. Yeah, it thinks it's a dog bowl. Which Google Lens is not good at differentiating sizes. How do you ask it to do a parameter? Fuck. All right, we'll try a different one. And when things are just patterns, it has a really hard time. This is kind of an odd pattern. It might be able to pick this up as something. Battery covers. Yeah, so it's kind of like looking at the pattern and just making a decision. So we'll set those aside. It might go to this, it might not. But we know what we got in front of us, so we will look up Pokemon coins. All of them. So people sell them in lots. 33,000 for sale. And obviously, you know, like when you see lots like this, like 10, mystery, count, whatever. But at $2, you have to figure, even if I just sold this as a lot, I could probably get something out of it. And then there's a chance that you have something rare. So we got this one, blue this guy. So they're intending to ship this in an envelope, which is not going to work. Because that's the only way you could do 250, but it's not going to work because it's too thick. So, with that in mind, we know this one's not worth anything more than the others. So, hoping that one of these would be rare is the reason you pick stuff up too. But, even if not, let's go through and see. Now, if you're not sure, if you're kind of, no, this is not my wheelhouse, absolutely. You can also sort by price. Highest price. And that will tell you if there is something rare that you're trying to find. If you've got a big lot of things, go by price. Yeah, and this is graded and whatnot. But Mewtwo. And that just gives you an idea before you go moving stuff. So Mewtwo has popped up twice. So apparently that was a tough one. Then you can kind of come back down to earth. You can see these are all like graded, high-end, whatever. So you're going to have non-graded ones. And that's going to be where the bulk of your money is here. So we'll get out of graded. Jump back. Yeah, we're still underrated. $300 at this point. And these are people selling packs of cards and shit, all the scalpers out there. Now, not to go off on a tangent, scalpers and resellers are not the same thing. Scalpers are people that purchase things that are in demand and in short supply to resell them to people that actively wanted those things. Resellers are people that buy things at discounts or at yard sales to flip them for additional income by introducing them to a larger buying market. Stuff like this will sit in a store for weeks and weeks and weeks before somebody like me picks it up. Being the first in line at Target to grab all the Pokemon cards is not a reseller. That is a scalper. You can feel however you want about it. I think it's scummy because it really kind of ruins the fun for some stuff. Like, I'm a big Fallout fan, and they do like Nuka-Colas every time a game comes out, and you can't even buy them. You can't even get one just to have, because somebody buys all of them to put them on eBay. That kind of just ruins the fun on it. Alright, so now we have some lots. And I don't know why this guy thinks he's going to get $250 for this, but we're just kind of looking at, do we have any of these? And we don't. Those might be rare, though. Or they might be, like, original from the 90s. Alright. So I can also Google Lens these. But now we're getting into lots. That's pretty much what I was thinking we were going to do. Pokemon coin lots. Okay. Now that's made a big difference, right? So, some of these are still packaged, some of them are just left out. We have this sorted by best match, is what we want. That takes us back to what we were looking at originally. So, 25 for $18. Now I do have a lot of duplicates. So something I could do is do a Pikachu and a Blastoise. And I'd have 3 lots of those 2. And then I could do these 4 as their own thing. Yeah, so it doesn't look like these are going to move for big money, certainly. Mega Gengar. I sold a Gengar 3D printed figure not too long ago that I picked up, and I didn't realize somebody had made it. But it did move. So we got some of these in this picture. We got that guy, we got that guy. I'm curious what this green one is, but I don't think the green really means anything necessarily. Alright, so Pokemon coin lots, 3,100 for sale. And 1,100 sold. So that's a good sell-through. So just get an idea of what they'd go for. And it doesn't look like we're going to really make any money on this because of the shipping aspect. Unless somebody knows a trick that I don't, selling it as a card versus a package. Because when I did this, I believe I put it in a package because it's beyond the width for a letter. But you can sell trading cards as a specialized thing. So I'm actually probably just going to put this on hold, and I'm going to look up what the rules are on this before I list. But I think doing the Blastoise and Pikachu lots and then the other 4 by themselves would make the most sense. So we'll get to that another time. Call that an L for now, even though we won't get something out of it. But now we got Mecha Ghidorah. I knew this was something because I've picked this up before. Godzilla stuff has a pretty significant resale value. They're still making movies, people still like it, and collectors across generations that are into it. So this one says Bondi, China on the foot, and I have sold this exact one, and I don't think it's going to come up. And I want to talk about, there's one thing to remember. I did something. I remember I sold this. But eBay will only show you the last 90 days of action. But they will email you saying you sold something. So if you're not sure, you can actually just go to your emails and look up the last time you sold something like this. So it's Mecha Ghidorah. I made the sale for soft vinyl 1998, and it'll have a picture. And there he is. So the listing won't work if you click on it because it's old, and this is from... Actually, it might work. It's not that old. We'll see. I don't think it's going to let me pull it up. So if you click on the item, if it's too old, it just doesn't do anything. The link doesn't work. But I know that I sold this and I got $18 for it with free shipping. So that's just what it's going to be, which is fine. It's not a bad figure. It's soft vinyl. It's more display than play. But it would not come up if I searched for it as a recent sale, and I wouldn't remember what I sold it for, and it wouldn't pop up on eBay at all. We can't look and see if the market's moved on it, but it's a 1998 figure, so more than likely it's going to be exactly the same. So Mecha Ghidorah. Yeah, you got... Oh, those are sold. Oops. Yeah, so we got ones with tags. Oh, did it come back out? So that would change things, wouldn't it? So I don't know what year it is. That's yeah, because the new movie is he in it? I don't watch Godzilla. That's not true. I do sometimes. I don't remember how I knew what year it was last time, unfortunately. So this is definitely it right here. And it's definitely a Bandai. So I would throw Bandai in here. Although I have to assume they did not give the rights out to Godzilla stuff. Yeah, so it's not this one. This one's too refined. It's definitely this one. Actually, no, that one's different color. Different color scheme. And the wings are... Oh, they did this. That's why. Okay. That's how I shipped it, I believe. But this isn't... I guess depending on how you measured it, it would be 8. It would be 8 tall, but that's not how you would measure it. It would be 13 long. Well, the eyes are red on this one. That's unusual. Okay. I might not have a 98. Oh, okay. So I don't have the same one because I recall this one had the kanji on the feet when I bought mine. So I don't have the exact same one. Now that I'm seeing that, so I get a reproduction from down the road. It really does look like this one, though. Yeah, the eyes are the same. They're not red. Let's see what his feet say. No pictures of the feet. Huh. So it's not going to be quite the same. That's too bad. But it is more than likely going to move. So we're going to see what we can get for it here. Yeah, 31 bucks on that one. But we'll just go to sold and see what this exact one goes for. Might not be the 18. So I paid $3 for it. So I didn't break the bank either way. So the wings are a bit different. This one has the red eyes. This one's 2018, and I'm betting it's this one. Yeah, so the eyes being not red, but the tongue being red. Yep, okay. So it's this one, it's 2018 then, if I could believe them. Which, I could also, if I'm not sure, just not put the year. But we're going to list it again for 18. Because that one sold for 20. Now, the shipping on this is a bit more than it would be. So I'm thinking I'm only going to get about 10 bucks grand total out of it. And I spent $3 on it. But it's not a bad pickup at all, and it will move. When I ship it, I believe what I did was, like in that picture, I swiveled the wings around just to have like not a pain point for shipping. I may have boxed it. Put it in a box like so, covered it, and then, you know, you just gotta hope for the best. I don't tend to armor stuff up too much because if somebody's gonna smash it, it's gonna get smashed. You know, if somebody's gonna stand on it, there's really not a lot you can do about it, unfortunately. But yeah, not a bad figure. And then let's look at this Fisher-Price pirate ship. All right, lastly, we have a 1994 Fisher-Price pirate ship. So these are things I always pick up. This and the castle. I've done the castle several times on this show, and I have done the pirate ship once. So that was a while ago. I saw this at Savers, again, $7 for this, and it is missing most of the parts. So that sucks, but I pulled up my phone and I went through my old listing for it. I've sold most of the parts to this that I had. And I do have some, but looking at those listings, I was able to calculate, yeah, it's $7, plus I'm gonna have to ship a bunch of parts, but there's value here. So what I've previously done is I partnered certain small parts, like this maidenhead and this, the anchor and the plank, the masts I sold, the ladder I sold with something that's missing. But I'm going to take this thing completely apart. The other thing I sold, wheels. These wheels come out. And these are things that people use to rebuild this old pirate ship. Now, you know, we're not going to sell it as a ship. It's missing. This is where the cannon flipped out. There's a door here. There's also a rear hatch that's missing. The wheel. I'm going to take everything off, even if I don't have enough parts to make a certain listing. I'll hold on to them because I'm always on the lookout for this. And at $7, it's kind of a lot. This would be typically like 3 or 4 Goodwill, but with the magic of video, I'm going to butcher this thing and we're going to have everything on the desk in just a minute. There we have a disassembled pirate ship. That's the body of it. It was quite brittle. So this has been in salt water or in the sun for a long period of time, or just hot and cold. Will do that, where you can just literally rip the ship in half. But there's a lot of sellable stuff off this. So the railings, the wheels on the bottom of the ship, with the actual steering wheel, this step, the figurehead with skull, the sides, because, you know, like as a kid you could bust these out without too much trouble, and then you're left, you know the ship you had as a kid. The masts. So we're gonna look quick and see what I still have from the last pirate ship I ripped apart. We'll do that. Just searching up my store here. So pirate ship. Should narrow it down. All right. Interesting. So unfortunately I can't do the same listing because I'm missing a sticker. That sucks. Or I could take a picture of this one, but I could do another listing of the same. This part is missing. I have these rails, so now I can do a duplicate. And that's all I have left. I sold everything else last time I did this. So I don't think I could re-up the listings. I know I sold the wheels separate. I know I did the figurehead and this piece separate. I know I did the anchor and the plank separate. And I did $12, like $15, $12, I think $12. So, with that in mind, we got like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're to be about there. And that's a good day. And that's why I like parts. These were kind of a pain to ship, honestly. They're really obnoxiously long. I think I just put them in 2 envelopes and just wrapped them up pretty good, if I recall. Or side by side or some reason. Yeah, whatever. I made it work. but I can go through my email to the old listings. I have to take new pictures, but I'll have the same price point that they sold at. And that's probably going to hold because, again, it's, you know, a 30-year-old toy. It'll only go up as parts become scarce. So those ships are awesome pickups. The castle is... This is actually a better pickup, I think, unless you get the castle with the cannon and the catapult. This has a cannon as well that I've already sold, but... So that's it. If you like reseller content, toy content, like, subscribe, comment below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.